Seeing none, we'll move on to the principal's report.
The annual Veterans Day Assembly is this Friday, and we will have over 50 veterans come to RV for a celebration, which includes breakfast, an all-school assembly, and breakout sessions within the classroom for students to ask the veterans questions about their service. So I want to thank John Fields, who was here earlier, and Marianne Nardi for their hard work in planning the entire day for them. Also, our fall play is coming up. It's the Iliad, the Odyssey, and all of Greek mythology in 99 minutes or less. Begins this Thursday at 7 p.m. and Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and tickets are $10 at the door. November 15th, we have the last meeting in the Parent Technology Series. It starts at 6 p.m. in the Little Theater, and the title of this meeting is Skills for Success in a One-to-One Environment. On November 16th, Special Olympics basketball game is holding their annual Pack the Place game at 5:30. It's always a fun-filled event filled with a lot of school spirit, and we encourage as many people to come out as we can. Lastly, Scott and I reviewed the previous summer school and camp reports presented to the board along with the DCR reports, and I wanted to provide the board with an update. While the DCR reports do not show this, as we have previously said, all of the camps and summer school are cost neutral to the district. But there are a few reasons why one DCR report will not show this. So first of all, we have board accounts set up for revenues and expenses for each individual camp and summer school opportunity. However, the expenses and revenues are over 2 months and 2 different fiscal years. So one DCR report will not be able to capture all of that. So my understanding is in the past, Tim built in a budget for the expenses based upon previous spending for each individual account, but that was not a budget. There is no actual budget. The money just runs through the board accounts so that we can track what's going on in each camp and summer school opportunity to make sure that they're cost neutral. So I understand how putting a number in the budget could look misleading. So Scott and I have already worked to try to identify a plan to fix this in the future.
And so the board doesn't, you don't have a handout, do you?
I do not.
And this was not in this packet, it was in the previous packet, so the question that was submitted that we deferred was, there was a preliminary budget item for like the boys golf camp of $200, and then it expended, I believe, something like $1,200 or $1,400. So it was over budget, but
There is actually no budget. The budget is based off of the number of participants and the fees that they collect.
and in a previous report in DCR, not the one that the board saw last meeting, they would have saw that there was revenue collected for that account?
Correct.
Okay. And so how we're fixing this going forward, we're gonna zero out all budget items for summer camps,
Correct.
and it'll just show a revenue, like it's more or less serving as a pass-through then, correct?
Yes. And that's why we prepare those charts so that instead of having to go through the 2 different DCR accounts, we provide just a chart that summarizes the revenues and expenses for each activity.
But you can understand how it was misleading on the sheet, right?
Yes.
So we'll make sure that, Mr. Walsh, did that kind of clarify a little bit your question?
The only other remaining question is, does it cover the overhead costs, like the health insurance and the social security and all that? Because there was a separate line item for that in this year's DCR. So that was the other question. When you say, when you're capturing the cost, do you capture the social security and they don't pay social security.
There's a flat $5 fee that, or $5 or $7
That's
fee
the
that goes to the
intent, to cover
district,
that.
flatter $5 fee that goes for the trainer, and then the rest is used for overhead supplies. And so we would just need to verify if we're taking the district's portion is enough to cover those.
The insurance portion.
Right.
Correct.
And the employer costs.
Yeah.
And if we're making any changes to that, we would want to make sure the coaches are aware of it well before they post their flyers with their rates so they can account for any of those changes. Okay?
Thank you.
Anything further from the principal?
No, that's it.
Anything further for the principal?